Welcome to Advising is Teaching, a framework for student leader learning and development. My name is Jennifer Griffin, and I'll be one of the facilitators for today's session. I started my career in student affairs as a graduate assistant with a dual assignment in both housing and Greek life. Following completing my master's degree, I served as both a full-time residence life coordinator and eventually the assistant director for residence life. I've been with the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership since 2016, where I currently serve as the director.
And my name is Lauren Cotian, and I'm working on my 4th year at UAB as the Assistant Director of Leadership and Service. Prior to this experience, I worked in a university's Career Center as a student employment coordinator, and additionally have served in the areas of residence life and Greek life. During this session, we'll review a framework that was developed by members of our team to better assess our student leaders' learning through a competency-based approach. It is our intention that participants will be able to do the following as a result of participating in this session. First, identify a minimum of 3 NACE career readiness competencies that are relevant to the student positions you advise and supervise. Secondly, recognize strategies that support competency development for these same students. And third, outline an assessment plan that evaluates your students' learning and development.
We recognize that a wide variety of functional units support student organizations. At UAB, the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership directly advises 14 university-funded student organizations. For these 14 groups, we are meeting regularly with their leaders and the organization as a whole, attending their events, whether virtual or in person, and providing guidance on navigating our university's policies and procedures as it relates to the organization's functions. Before we go any further, we thought it'd be helpful to provide a snapshot of who these students are and the nature of their leadership role on campus.
In the area of leadership and service, we advise the UAB ambassadors, who serve as the official host and hostesses of the university, Serve 205, who provides ongoing service opportunities through community partnerships in the Birmingham area, Blazers on Break, who plan and facilitate UAB's alternative break experience, the Leadership and Service Council, who plan our signature service events throughout the year, and the Pathfinders, who serve as our involvement mentors. In student activities, we advise the Blazer Spirit Council, which coordinate activities for our annual Spirit Weeks, including Homecoming, Creed Week, and Grad Week. The University Programs Board, they provide late night programming, live entertainment, and novelties, and GGUAB, which is our non-competitive gaming organization. They host signature con events and monthly video, online, and tabletop game activities. At UAB, the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership also includes our fraternity and sorority community. This community includes 4 governing councils, including the Interfraternity Council, Multicultural Greek Council, National Panhellenic Council, and National Panhellenic Conference. This equates to a total of 211 student leaders who are advised by 8 full-time staff members. These are primarily undergraduate students living off campus, and a large majority are female. The majority of the students in these roles do not receive any type of scholarship or stipend and are participating for the experience and/or the sense of community that comes along with being involved.
Because so much of our time is spent advising, it's critical to ensure that this time is spent intentionally and having an impact. Now that you have a general idea of the students we work with, we'll provide some context for how we've approached establishing outcomes for the students we advise. With a focus on retention and graduation at the university, our office works to support students in their academic achievement. Part of our students' academic success can be measured by their successful transition into the workplace after college. As a result, we chose to utilize the National Association of Colleges and Employers Career Readiness Competencies as the foundation for the outlined student learning outcomes. These competencies include critical thinking and problem solving, and this competency focuses on students' ability to exercise sound reasoning and analyze issues, make decisions, and overcome problems. Students who have excelled in this competency area should be able to obtain, interpret, and use knowledge, facts, and data in this process, and may demonstrate originality and inventiveness. Oral and written communications is demonstrated by the student's ability to articulate thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively. The students should be able to demonstrate public speaking skills and the ability to express ideas to others. Teamwork and collaboration looks like the students building collaborative relationships with peers, faculty, and staff representing diverse cultures, races, ages, genders, religions, lifestyles, and viewpoints. The student should be able to work within a team structure and be able to negotiate and manage conflict. The digital technology competency has become more and more important over the last year. This competency allows students to leverage existing digital technologies ethically and efficiently to solve problems, complete tasks, and accomplish goals. Students who have excelled in this competency area should demonstrate effective adaptability to new and emerging technologies. Leadership is demonstrated by the student's ability to leverage the strengths of others to achieve common goals and use interpersonal skills to coach and develop others. Students who excel in this competency are able to evaluate and manage both their emotions and the emotions of others, use empathetic skills to guide and motivate, and organize, prioritize, and delegate their work. Professionalism and work ethic focuses on the students' demonstrated personal accountability and effective work habits. It focuses on their ability to work productively with others and time workload management. Global and intercultural fluency outlines how students value, respect, and learn from diversity. Students who excel in this competency demonstrate openness, inclusiveness, sensitivity, and the ability to interact respectfully with all people and understand differences. Career management looks at the student's ability to identify and articulate their skills, strengths, knowledge, and experiences relevant to the position they desire, while also identifying areas necessary for professional growth. These competencies and their respective definitions lay the foundation for the work necessary to prepare college students for successful entry into the workforce. These definitions provide a common vocabulary for students, faculty, staff, and university administrators, but can also serve as guidelines when educating and advising students. It's important to understand that this is not an instance of all or nothing. The richest growth and development will take place when a student and advisor are able to focus in on the competencies relevant to the leadership role or relevant experience.
Through the following strategies, advisors can adjust both student expectations, advising style, and opportunities to best enhance the student leader experience and overall learning of each student. These strategies were designed to support organizational advisors in identifying tools to assess student leader competencies. Depending on the nature of the students and/or organizations you advise, there could be an opportunity to build developmental experiences into the selection process. For UAB, this looks like a month-long process of informational sessions, resume building, and interview workshops, and both group and individual interviews to support the growth and development of professionalism among our student leaders. It is during the recruitment and application process that we introduce our students to the competencies associated to the leadership experience and outline how they can expect to grow over the upcoming year if selected. While the opportunity to learn should be infused throughout the entire leadership experience, we do recommend you provide an initial training following the selection and election process. During this training, be sure to introduce the students to the competencies you've identified and outline how this experience will provide them with an opportunity to grow in these areas. You can also use this experience to conduct an initial assessment of entry competence. You can also use this opportunity to provide some initial training in the competency areas if your schedule allows and the content experts are available to participate. Ongoing opportunities for development can be incorporated into organization meetings, one-on-one advising appointments, and group advising. This can be done by infusing competency-based activities into routine procedures within the organization, inviting content experts from across campus to conduct workshops during organization meetings, and providing opportunities for active reflection during individual advising appointments and group meetings. One last strategy includes providing a dedicated time for reflection at key times of the experience. We recommend this take place a minimum of 2 times, with the first being halfway through the experience and the second being right before the end of the experience. This time can include a formal evaluation where the student is scored on their growth in the identified competencies, as an in-person or virtual conversation with the advisor where students' progress is discussed. This strategy should minimally include a one-on-one meeting, but can also include the conducting of a focus group with a larger organization to further explore the general membership's learning and development. At the end of the experience, this process can be duplicated to measure the improvement from the initial reflection and evaluation. If this was conducted initially at both the individual and group level, we recommend you do the same at the end of the experience.
It is the responsibility of the organization advisor to play an active role in assessing student leaders' learning throughout their leadership experience. A robust and comprehensive assessment strategy should start with the development of outcomes. Once you've identified the competencies you'll focus on, you can outline some relevant outcomes based on the nature of the leadership role. Prior to the initial training, we recommend you develop a pre-test based on your outcomes to evaluate the student's current skill level and provide insight for where to begin in their development of the competency. Some students come to us having held previous leadership experiences, and others come to us fresh as a blank slate. No matter their experience, it's important to understand where they're at in their development prior to setting any goals for future learning. Like we mentioned before, dedicated time for reflection should be facilitated both at the middle and end of the leadership experience at a minimum. During this time, a rubric tool is a great way to reflect, evaluate development, and share feedback through this one-on-one time with the advisor. Many online platforms offer a rubric tool. At UAB, we use Anthology, formerly known as Campus Labs, and we use their rubrics tool through Baseline. Through our experience, this tool has provided another opportunity to define not only the learning outcome, but specific achievement levels associated to that outcome. It's important to be mindful of the language you assign to these levels. You'll want them to be reflective of the student's development, but avoid using terms that would carry a negative connotation or impact on confidence when assigned to a student's competency in an area. At UAB, we chose the following terms to define our students' learning and development. Developing, and this was defined as with an achievement value of 50% or higher. Enhancing had an achievement value of 75% or higher, and excelling had an achievement value of 100%. At the end of the student's leadership experience, we recommend they complete the same evaluation they completed prior to their leadership experience. This comparative data allows the student to identify perceived growth in the assigned competencies. The conclusion of the student's experience and closing the loop with your assessment strategies will provide an opportunity for reflection as an advisor. The data you've collected should be used to evaluate the strategy used for advising and development and inform your future framework. Our student leader learning cycle is one that we adapt every year to align with the priorities of the university and our division, while also meeting the needs of the students we support. A solid assessment plan allows us to illustrate the impact our staff has through their role as an advisor, while also demonstrating how we support the university's priorities of retention and graduation of our students.
This concludes our presentation today. We hope this framework will support you in your role as an advisor in contributing to your student success both during and after college. We'd love to connect with you, so feel free to reach out to us with any questions or follow-ups from the presentation today. If you'd like to stay in the loop on updates from our office, be sure to follow us on social media at Get Involved UAB.